Welcome back to the channel, guys, to this beautiful Friday afternoon. I say that as it's been raining all day for me outside, but today we covered Kaguya-sama Love is War, episode 6, and as usual, it was a great episode. Like, do I even need to say it? Do I even need to tell you guys that? You know it's a great episode. I know it's a great episode. But it was honestly a pretty important episode for our series as a whole moving forward from now on. This episode actually carried a lot of repercussions and will probably shape the course of our series going forward from now on. So let's just kind of get into it because it was a fun episode, but we did have some serious moments, so let's get into it. Now, our episode today kind of centered on something we all have known about or will know about eventually, the school conference. And if you don't know what that is, that's where you come into the school with your parents and you discuss what your future is going to be. Like I said, a lot of us have done it, and it's a nerve-wracking time in our lives when we don't quite know what we're going to do with our lives yet. Hell, I still don't know what I'm doing with my life. Years ago, I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing now, but life works in mysterious ways. But anyway, that's the crux of our episode today, is our characters sitting down and really thinking about what they want to do with their lives. And it's a thought we've all had, you know? It's a thought we all still have to this day. And I don't know, I just think it's a very important topic for a series like this, you know? That's kind of like a slice of life-y kind of series. Like, it's a good thing. So let's just kind of get into it. We'll start off with Chica, because you know how she is, being just over the top and ridiculous as usual. She wants to be the prime minister. Jokingly. But just imagine how that would be. It's just someone like her being the prime minister of a country. I wonder how fun that country would be. Probably pretty fun. But who knows how smoothly things would go. But that's what she wants to do. Now, Ino, for her part, she wants to study law, which I could only imagine her as a prosecutor, guys. Let's be real here. Ishigami said it best himself. You're going to put so many innocent people behind bars. Just imagine all the innocent people she puts away. They're screaming, "We didn't do anything, please, let us out." And she's just smirking like, he serves you right. But Ishigami, for his part, seeing as how his brother is going to take over the company, his parents really don't have much ambition for him. He doesn't really know what he wants to do. And I'm honestly curious. When I heard that, I'm very curious to know what he would do. Because like I said, he is honestly one of my favorite characters in the series. I really think that he's one of the most complex characters in the show for sure. Because I feel like he's one of the most realistic out of them by far. So I'm very curious to know what he ends up doing. I feel like we'll spend a good part of the show, or at least a good chunk of the show, figuring that out. And I'm looking forward to that. Now, Kaguya, for her part, is there with Hayasaka, of course. And she's down that her family isn't there. Because as we know from watching the show, they have an incredibly complicated family circumstance and dynamic that they wouldn't even come to support her in this instance. And Hayasaka, for her part, she doesn't even think her mom would come. But she does come, and it brings joy to her. But it makes Kaguya sad, as you would expect. It's just, the show is being really tight-lipped about how her family is. Like, we are being very, secretive about how her family is. I feel like it's going to be a big reveal or something at some point in the series. All you manga readers out there are probably thinking, he doesn't know. Cue the Joker meme, or the Riddler meme. He doesn't know, does he? But, I don't know. We're being very tight-lipped, so I'm extremely curious to know how that's going to go in the future, but she's dejected by it, you know? She is kind of crushed that they're not there for her. So, who should come talk to her but Shirigane's dad, of all people. And I gotta say, guys, I love him so much. He's so great. His dad is like the complete opposite of him, and he's so great. He's just teasing her the whole time, and he actually offers to step in and play the role of her father, as Hayasaka's mother decides to play the role of her mother. And just seeing those two together, guys, that got like the biggest laugh out of me ever. Their dynamic together is actually really good. And it turns out, we find out that Shirigane's dad is actually a consultant for people. So it's actually his specialty to do stuff like this, to talk about their futures with them. So they go in there with her, to her embarrassment, of course, because he's saying, oh, I'm basically your father anyway. Which, not really wrong, but they go in there and they ask her point blank, like, what do you want to do with your life? And she doesn't have an answer for him, because her entire life has been dictated by what her parents have said. And like I said earlier, it really shows you just how complicated their relationship is. How we haven't even seen her parents in the show, guys. They haven't even made a single appearance to my knowledge. And it's just, I don't know, it just really shows you how much they, I guess, don't care that they wouldn't even come to something like this. I don't know. It was quite a sad scene, actually. But she doesn't know what she wants to do right now. And I'm sure we'll find that out at some point later. But then we transition to Shirogane, who turns out he wants to go to Stanford. Which, if you guys don't know what Stanford is, it's a pretty high up there school. Like, it's it's not easy to get into Stanford. And to do that, he'll have to study abroad. But because of that, that means the clock is ticking, and he doesn't have much time to spend with everyone else. So his dad even tells him point blank, like, if you have any regrets, if you have anything you need to do while you're here, you need to do it now, or you're going to regret it the rest of your life. And it's in this moment that he decides to himself that if Kaguya doesn't confess by the cultural festival, that he's going to do it himself. Which has been the whole crux of our show, you know? About these two trying to make each other confess. That's been the whole crux of the show and the mind games that come along with it. So, for him to say that just really shows how serious he is in this instance. And the rest of our episode is him really just trying to push that point home even further. We see the determination on him. He's doing stuff he normally would never do, because he knows time is limited, and he has to spend it with her now if he wants to at all. And the rest of our episode is filled with his attempts to try to get her to ask him out. He really doubles down on that, which includes him asking her to another school's cultural festival as an excuse to ask her for a date. Which, of course, she doesn't realize and turns down to her dismay later in the episode, prompting Hayasaka to tell her you need to ask him out yourself. Which, of course, leads to hilarity, which she actually does. But, of course, everyone comes in and ruins it like they always do. And then we even get a scene towards the end of our episode where Shirogane point blank asks all the girls in the student council, like, what do you think of me as a person? And they just tear into him. Like, it's vicious. I literally was watching the episode, guys, and I was like, oh my god. Jesus, that shit's mean. But they do, and they give him a little bit of a wake-up call. A little bit, you know? Because he thought really highly of himself. But sometimes you need a little bit of a slap in the face to really wake you up and realize, okay, there's some stuff I can change. There's some stuff I can improve on. But, of course, he's dejected as hell, because when I say they're laying into him, guys, they are destroying this man's soul. Until Kaguya comes in and says, I don't think there's anything you need to change about him. Which, of course, she's going to think that, because to her, he is her ideal person. Which really puts a pep back in his step, you know? And our episode kind of ends on that. Like I said, the real crux of our episode was finding out what our characters want to do with the rest of their lives, which will hold lots of implications moving forward, because this is definitely going to be a reoccurring topic in the show, especially Shirogane and Kaguya's. Like, I'm very curious to know if their plans change in the future, which I feel like they might. And if Kaguya actually decides what she wants to do. Because we actually saw for a brief moment in the episode that there was a band playing and someone was about to sing, and it really piqued her interest. So that really has me thinking, like, does she want to get into music one day? Does she want to be like a singer? After last week's episode, I could honestly really see that. And I think that'd be a very interesting dynamic for someone so serious like her. But you guys let me know in the comments what you think. I thought this episode was great, as usual. This show doesn't have bad episodes. It's just not a thing. It's just not possible, really. That's just how it is. But if you disagree, let me know in the comments down below, guys. But yeah, I think that'll be it for today. You know, a little short, sweet, to the point kind of video. Just discussing the greatness that is this show. So, yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a great day, week, month, and year. And until next time, deuces, and have a blessed day.